We wanted to come back to this because the procession has started right now. Look at all of the members of law enforcement at the beginning of this.
This is all police there in front getting ready for part of it, just to
Escort.
guide them and escort where that boy is going to go. You can see there, we've been describing the ladder trucks there, that massive American flag is what they'll be driving under as they leave the church and start off on this long procession that we expect to take maybe a couple of hours as they go, because they will be taking their time. You see there the main truck there in front with carrying the case on, and I believe the limo behind with the family, like you were describing, Dr. Yes, that's likely where they are, right behind that truck. And even the black fabric wrapped around the truck, signifying what it's doing today. Very
Covering
different
the lights
than it
too?
does.
Yes, the lights are closed. Notice also that this is actually his pumper. This is pumper 42.
This was his truck, yeah.
Yes.
I noticed that draping on Station 42 as well.
Yes. Unfortunately, we experience this often enough that that material is on hand.
Kept ready.
Yes.
And we mentioned that obviously we've got a long way to go in this procession. If we can, while I'm mentioning, we can take it live again at Station 42, because when we took that a moment ago getting ready for this procession to start, there were already members of his firehouse outside waiting, ready to go. Obviously, they're going to be expecting that procession to go right by them, but they were already ready, and they're a good probably half hour away from it being there at this point, ready to say goodbye to their compatriot.
Dr. Gist, you talked about how you'd been a part of, unfortunately, many of these at your time with the department. Talk about the relationship with the police department and wanting to be there and serve in this capacity as well.
The relationship with the police department has always been an excellent working relationship. In these situations, it is really superlative. There are many things, of course, as uniformed public servants that hold law enforcement and fire together, but the mutual respect you see at this time.
Now, obviously, this is a long route we've been describing, and so during the course of our coverage, you may see some of our own cameras that are out there, but right now you're looking at a scout cam, and there'll be a lot of these, and obviously Lindsay and I are very familiar with these. We talk about these every weekday morning with Danielle Leon when she's going through. This is our way of seeing the city, and today it's our way of seeing what this procession is going to look like as it makes its way through the miles and miles of this procession throughout the afternoon.
You're just seeing the beginning of it getting off onto I-35 there, right as they're leaving the church. I-35, which runs through and past Liberty, south past North Kansas City, then Kansas City, eventually onto 71, and then past Station 42.
You mentioned, Dr. Gist, the hope of something like this, and as far as what impact it might have on the layperson who's driving by, somebody who is, it's a Friday afternoon, the sun's out, is out shopping, is out, gone to lunch with a family, that kind of thing. Somebody who sees this today, and not just watching on television, but sees this,
cars.
look at this, the people that have gotten out of their cars. The hope is that when they put their head on their pillow tonight, they will spend just a couple of seconds even thinking about what they saw and who this man was and who the men and women are that do this every day. I would think that's the hope of something like this.
Absolutely. And those people getting out of their cars, that's the kind of symbol of respect you notice.
Yeah.
It's
powerful.
They might not have planned that today.
No, but I'm here and I'm going to show this moment of respect. This whole circumstance serves so many different functions, but one of them is to do exactly what you mentioned, to allow the community to appreciate for a moment not just what firefighters do for them, but more importantly, what their commonwealth in Kansas City means to them. This is an exceptional city. Like every other major urban area, of course we have our issues. But what makes Kansas City unique is the things that hold people together, the positive commonalities. And you see that in who these people are and why it is that they choose to serve here.
And not just local Kansas City Fire Department vehicles, but the ever-present American flag as part of this.
How appropriate is it? I don't live in Missouri, I live on the Kansas side, but how appropriate would it be for me or anybody else watching today to, you know what, I've got a fire station just a couple miles down the street from me. in memory of Graham, I would like to take them something. Is that something that would be welcomed by fire stations all across the metro area?
Typically, yes.
Yeah.
Not for levity at this moment, but we use a lot of that just to stay sane.
Yeah.
As long as you're bringing food, you're probably welcome at any fire station in the United States.
I was going to say.
But the thought that you do it today, think about what you do if there's a death in your family,
Yeah.
in your neighborhood. First thing you do is you show up and leave a casserole.
Yeah.
Now, those are the things that say, really, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't have any words,
So I'd like to care for you.
but I have this.
Well, and Lindsay and I are both parents. And we
Part of
have
me, I'd like for you to
young
have
children. I think of everything almost as a teaching moment, and how
Yeah.
that would be to take your kids to a firehouse right now or in the next week and say, remember that you may not have heard this, guys, but a firefighter died in Kansas City earlier this week. We have a fire station just down the road. Let's take some cookies over to them and tell them thank you for what they're doing.
Sure.
I know what that would. I know that would stick with my kids if we did something like that.
Yeah, I would emphasize, Tay, that the thing important for the kids to understand is not so much that we're doing this because a firefighter died, but we're doing this because they take care of you every day.
Yeah.
Go back to Mr. Rogers. Look for the helpers.
Look for the helpers. That's right.
Look at this formation with police and how far in front of the rest of the procession they are to make way on this journey of miles and miles. I mean, how difficult is it when the station they're serving?
You mentioned the planning that goes into it. When they've got to go this far, that's a lot of work.
Believe me, these guys and gals on those motorcycles have always impressed me. They are.
Look at the people pulling over. This is Church Road on the up higher on this screen. It's a busy road in Liberty. They're getting ready to go under 152 where you see some of the fire department's trucks parked too, but people pulling over that don't have to, just to take a minute. The procession's still leaving Pleasant Valley Baptist Church. Do you know how long the procession itself, like the number of vehicles typically might be, or?
Because people are invited to take part if they were there at the funeral, I assume?
Right. Generally, the departments who want to participate in the procession will contact early, and that way there'll be a chance to plan.
You mean like
what's
other
going to
cities'
take.
departments may
Yes.
say, we'd like to put a truck in there?
Looks
Precisely.
like maybe,
Yeah.
some of what we're seeing right now, yeah.
Yeah. And I have seen them up to, certainly tens, sometimes as many as 100 vehicles.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can imagine how interesting it is to try to keep all those ducks marching in the same direction at the same speed.
And I can tell these are from other parts of,
Yes.
maybe not Kansas City. It's hard
Right,
to see,
right.
but
You told us beforehand people come from all over the country
Right.
for these memorial services.
Blue, for example, is probably Gladstone. They're unique in that respect.
Lexington, they're black trucks.
Yeah. But it also gives you a sense of the diversity of agencies and people who make up the American Fire Service.
Yeah.
As I mentioned to you, I think off camera, there are 31 to 33,000 fire departments in the United States. We don't even know exactly how
Yeah.
many. But
Some of them are like small enough, they've got one truck, one ambulance, one fire truck,
there are
that kind of thing.
some that cover only 1 square mile.
Yeah.
wow.
And as I mentioned, 85% of the fire departments in the country are these volunteer agencies, the smaller ones. Indeed, there are only probably 300 that are in what we call the metro classification, departments very large like ours. But career firefighters, for example, protect better than 53% of America's population, but the majority of fire departments, the majority of territory,
Yeah.
is covered by volunteers.
Look at this procession. You see the people there pulled over on the side of the road, or just even in the middle of the road, to honor what's going on. No, I grew up in a situation just like you're describing. I grew up in a town of 1,200 people, and I remember the first time I heard volunteer firefighter, and like that was kind of a foreign term. I didn't understand that that's not their full-time job, because there's not necessarily a full-time situation. They do other jobs, and then when 911 is called, they're going to go and take part in this.
But bear in mind that while our people are doing 350, 400 calls a day,
Mhm.
many of those departments do less than 100 calls in a year.
Yeah.
And yet they have to be ready on any given day
Yeah.
to do everything that we do.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's your reaction to all these lights and all these trucks as you watch them going down the highway?
There's a sense of honor to have been sort of the odd uncle at their Thanksgiving dinner for 28 years. But it's also just a testament to the fact that there are good people in this world.
Yeah.
We lose sight of that. Every day, Kansas Cityans will listen to you talk about who got killed overnight,
Yeah.
all those things, but just remember in every one of those, there are these police officers and firefighters who are coming in to try to make it better so it doesn't splash over on you.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing there is a testament to who they are, how many they are, how dedicated they are to this.